V Rising is an online open-world vampire survival game where you rise from the ashes to hunt for blood, construct castles, and evade the scorching sun. Whether you're just starting to explore the vast open world of Vardoran, or you want to know how to use unique vampire powers or new weapon techniques, we're here to tell you 13 things to do first in V Rising. Throughout your journey in V Rising, you'll be tasked with completing a series of journal quests that appear in the top left corner of the screen. While they may seem optional, these quests are vital to your in-game success. Without their completion, your progress will be halted, as many of V Rising's core mechanics and key features are claimed as rewards for completing these tasks. The game doesn't really explain this very well, so if you're struggling to understand the purpose of a particular structure or mechanic, chances are that you haven't quite reached the quest that will explain it to you further. One of the first things the game will get you to do is find somewhere to build your castle heart. Keep in mind though that once you have built it, you cannot move your castle to a new location without destroying everything attached to it, so we highly recommend that you think long and hard about the location of your initial build. Key things to consider are nearby locations like bandit camps, or even other players' castles, and ensuring that the location is friendly towards your current gear level. Before leaving your castle, remember to deposit your items in storage chests. Not only will you lose your hard-earned resources if you die, but traveling back to obtain your items from your grave can quickly become a hassle, as vampire waygates cannot be used to fast travel when you are carrying resources and other key items. When first starting out, it is highly recommended that you avoid traveling too far into the northern regions, as the further you travel, the more challenging the enemies and V-blood carriers will be. Explore the areas to the east and west of your castle when starting out, to avoid being demoralized by a crushing defeat. As you progress in the game and unlock new items to craft, you'll notice that your resources will quickly begin to disappear. So, if you want to get a head start, try gathering plenty of these resources early on and place them in storage so that you have them on hand when you need them. It can take a while to obtain different resources while out in the world, but you can speed up the process by using the correct tools. Swords have a greater effect on vegetation and thickets, axes do more work when harvesting wood, and maces work better on minerals and rocks. So, make sure you have one of each weapon while you're out and about, and swap to them quickly when you need to. Refineries are essential machines that help turn raw materials into refined items, such as planks and stone bricks. You'll quickly notice that many of these machines take quite some time to refine or produce the materials, so you'll want to ensure that they are always running to minimize the amount of time that you spend waiting around for them. During the early game, you'll have the need for items such as paper, leather, and whetstones. While you'll be able to craft these items later down the track, you'll first need to obtain a hefty amount of them to construct core building structures. The best way to get these items early is by killing humans and raiding settlements, which are shown on the map as these vague yellow circles. They blend in a bit, but hover over them on the map screen to see what they are and what they'll give you. You can also smash all of the objects in any given area to get a bit more bonus loot. Or, just because it's fun. You'll quickly make yourself a boned set of weapons in the early game, which are better than nothing, but they have their limitations, like being unable to break down copper deposits, for example. Upgrading these weapons allows you to harvest more rare materials, and when you start acquiring metal weapons, you will be able to use weapon techniques. While it's not always possible, try to gather resources and explore Vardoran during the night hours. You won't have to think about dashing to avoid the lethal sunlight, which can make navigating during the day quite difficult. For this reason, we recommend spending the majority of your daylight hours managing your castle, as you'll be protected from the sunlight inside its walls or inside your coffin. Once you've built a blood altar inside your castle, you'll unlock the ability to track powerful V-blood carriers. When selecting Track Blood via the Blood Altar menu, you'll be able to track down the exact location of each of these carriers. Be warned, these NPCs are very powerful. However, if you're successful in defeating them, you'll have the opportunity to claim their powers and knowledge as your own, such as unique vampire abilities, crafting recipes, and new castle structures. V-blood carriers won't appear trackable without the required gear level, so there's no real fear of facing a boss that's far too powerful for you to defeat, so long as you go prepared for a fight. The first V-blood carrier you can track down is the Alpha Wolf. Once you harvest its blood, you gain the ability to use the Wolf Form vampire ability. This lets you travel 45% faster, which is vital when you're either stuck outside in the sunshine or you just want to get around more, so we definitely recommend you hunt this one down. While you won't have access to a crossbow from the start, you can unlock the necessary crafting recipe by defeating one of the early V-Blood bosses, Rufus the Foreman, here in this lumber mill. It won't be cheap to make, but you can craft one at a woodworking bench, as well as a fishing rod to catch fish from lakes and streams. Fishing will be vital during the late game, as fish oil is an essential resource that is quite hard to farm efficiently. This should keep you busy for a good few hours, but if you find something that you're not quite sure of, or you want some more tips and tricks to help you out at the start of your game, you can check out our guide on IGN. You can also check out our 9 minutes of V-Rising survival gameplay or the V-Rising launch trailer. For all your other gaming needs, keep it here on IGN.
Start.